Now we get to practice some of the things we've just learned. If you'd like to work along at home, open the Project Files folder, Lesson 3 folder, and then open Add, Subtract, Multiply, Divide. I'll give you the assignment here, and then I'll ask you to pause the video and work out the solutions yourself, and then turn me back on and I'll work through the exercises and you can see how you did. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is there are 5 worksheets here. Add columns, add random, subtract, multiply, and divide. Each one of these worksheets has a set of yellow cells. Your objective is to put formulas in the yellow cells. Off to the right of the data, I'll have little blocks that tell you how to do the math. Here in this first exercise, we want to put a formula in this top yellow cell. It makes sense if you read it here that it's looking for total sales, so basically you want to add all of these numbers, putting the result right there. And then for this next one, total repairs, you're only going to add the numbers in this column that have anything to do with repairs. For example, here's 55, 15, and 25. And then do the same thing for jewelry. When you're finished with this worksheet, go to the next one, and then go to the one after that, and so forth. Okay, so pause the video now, and when you're all finished, turn me back on for the answers. Okay, let's get started with the solutions. I'd like to point out that there's this hidden worksheets comment right here. And when you hover over it, it tells you that this workbook contains hidden worksheets that display completed versions of the exercise. What that means is that there are other worksheets that you can't see here that are hidden behind the scenes, that are these same exercises, but with the answers in them. Now, if you're working with Excel 2010, you can simply right-click on any worksheet and choose Unhide. All you have to do is click on the one you want to see and click OK. Okay, here we go. In the Add Columns worksheet, we're simply going to click in this top yellow cell, type equals, and then we want to select this first number, plus the next number, plus. All we're doing is clicking on the cells that we want, followed by plus. Now when you get down to the last number, don't put a plus after that because we're out of numbers. There's nothing else to add. Go ahead and hit Enter. Then get down to the next yellow cell and we'll do the repairs. Equals, it's the 55, plus the 15, plus the 25. Again, we don't want to put plus on the end of this because we're out of numbers, but let me show you what happens if you do. If you type a plus on the end of the formula and then don't put anything after it, when you hit Enter, you're going to get this message. Now what this message tells you is that Excel understands what happened and it's offering to correct the problem. It shows you the formula the way it'll be if you allow Excel to correct it. If you just click Yes, Excel will go ahead and take that extra plus off the end and correct the formula. Okay, let's do total jewelry. Equals, get this number here, plus this one, plus this one, plus this one, and that should do it. Hit Enter, and there's the answer. Great, how'd you do? I'm betting you did just fantastic. Okay, let's go over to the Add Random. Now here the objective is to just add up all these ones in the blue cells. And it really doesn't matter what order we get them in. So let's start with equals. And we'll just grab this first one, plus. Just clicking on the numbers, typing plus. What's nice about this is you can see that as you click on each cell, it gets a little colored border around it indicating that it's part of the formula now. And the last cell you clicked on has the marching ants, or marquee, as Microsoft calls it, indicating that that's the selected cell. All right, that's it. We'll hit Enter. And if you get 10, congratulations. Over on the Subtract worksheet, here we're calling for the projected cost, that's this column, minus the actual cost, and that's this column here. So we'll click in this top yellow cell, do equals, take this number, minus this number, and just hit Enter. And now the time's come for me to show you a shortcut. We only have a handful of formulas that we need to do here, but if you had 1,000 of these, you wouldn't want to be sitting there typing in this formula one cell at a time. You'd be there till next Thursday doing all of that. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to quickly enter this formula into these other cells so that you're not sitting here all day typing them in. Now, my apologies if you've already done that. I really wanted you to go ahead and do this the long way because for one, it's good practice, and for two, it'll really make you appreciate what I'm about to show you. Okay, so we have this first formula already done. We're going to go back and click on it again. Now it's important that you click on the cell that has the formula, and then look in the bottom right-hand corner of this cell. You see the little nubby down there? That little nubby is called the fill handle. When you move your mouse over it, your mouse pointer changes into this thin little black cross. That's how you know you're in the right place. When you see that, you can just drag the fill handle straight down and stop when you get to the last cell, let go of the mouse, and look at that. It just copies the formula down to the other cells. Now I'm going to undo that, and I'll show you another way to do the same thing. Whenever you have numbers next to the formula, you can double-click the fill handle, and it does the same thing for you, just like that. Very cool. Okay, one more trick. I'm going to delete all these guys. Now everything's still selected here, and you can see that we have one active cell, the oddball. That's the one that shows pure yellow in the selection. That's where the formula is going to go. And the important thing to note about this is there is a range of cells selected, multiple cells. Okay, here we go. Equals, same formula, this minus this. Now watch this. Hold down the control key, hit enter. Oh man, isn't that great? Control enter. That's going to put the formula in any cell that you have selected at the time. And you thought this was going to be hard. All right, let's go to the next worksheet. Over to multiply. Our objective here is simply to take the cost per unit, that's this number, times the number of units. And just like before, all we have to do is get the formula working in one place, and we'll let Excel take care of the heavy lifting and get it into the other cells. So let's just select all these cells right here, and we'll put the formula in once, equals cost per unit times number of units. Remember, control enter. Beautiful. Okay, down here we need to add them up. We're going to do equals, and then just quickly go down through here. Click plus, click plus, click plus. You get the idea. Yes, there are easier ways to do this, and we're going to get to those very shortly. But for now, we're just practicing the hard way, just to get you some practice. Hit enter to complete the formula, and we'll do the tax. It's equals, and we just want to take this number right here, the total, times, and now we have to hardwire the 0.06 in there. Don't try to click on the cell here because that's not actually a cell. What that is a text box. It's sitting on top of the worksheet just floating around there. So you actually have to type in the 0.06, and then just hit enter. And finally, for the grand total, we're going to add these two guys together. Equals this number plus this number, enter. Great. Okay, let's go to the divide worksheet. And once again, all we have to do is get things working correctly in the top cell, and then we'll use one of our tricks to copy the formula down. This time we'll use the fill handle. All right, get the first formula working. Equals bonus divided by paycheck. Now here's another little trick. If you know you're going to come back and work on this cell, then don't hit enter, hit control enter. What it does is it allows you to stay in that cell, but it completes your edit of the cell. So we're out of edit mode, but the active cell is still there. It didn't move down. As you can see, the keyboard shortcut control enter can be used for more than one thing. It all depends on what you're doing when you use it. If you're entering a formula in the active cell of a range, control enter copies the formula to all the cells in the range. If you're simply typing something in a cell with no range selected, it completes your edit and allows the active cell to stay where it is without moving it down to the next row. So control enter going to keep you right where you are and put you in a position to do what we want to do next, which is simply to double click the fill handle and copy the formula down to the other cells. Well, all right, that completes this exercise. So we're ready to move onward and upward. So here we go, on to the next video.